Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Illusion Fox Gaming. Today we're doing the level 98 tank role quest, Awakened, Not Stirred. Tentoawa appears healthier, but there is still a hint of wariness in his expression. This is in Dawntrail. You're looking strong? Well, I'm not my old self yet. I'm feeling better by the day. Still, there's much work to be done. I need to be even better than I was before if we're to have any hope of catching Leophyne. I wonder what she's plotting with the rest of her cohorts. We know they aim to topple nations around the world, but this is an odd way to go about it, don't you think? Why haven't our misdeeds in Ishgard extended any further than the Temple Knights? We find that same question. Our best guess was that as a former Temple Knight herself, she chose them because she knows how to exploit their weakness. She's using her knowledge as her weapon, and we need to equip ourselves likewise. If we can learn more about her, we might be able to anticipate her next move. Good plan, but I admit I have no idea where to start. Should we ask Firmalbert? I already have. He said that, well, he never knew her personally. The knights in her old squadron might be able to shed light into her past. Some of them even now patrol the city, and Firmalbert was a great help in telling me where they might be. You've been busy, Lazanakwi. Well, I can't remember the last time I was awake this long. I don't want to sit around until I get tired again. And we're all better for it. Since you've gathered the information, it's only fitting I should do the legwork. Just tell me where these knights are and I'll speak with them. Gladly, but Ishgard is still an unfamiliar city for us, both of us, right? Although Firmalbert told me where to go, the names of these places mean nothing to me. Luckily, we have her to guide you. You'll go with Tentoawa, won't you? I knew we could count on you. Alright, take note of these locations. Being forced to work with someone like Leophyne isn't a fate I would envy. Curious to hear what these knights have to say about her. Hopefully they provide insight that will help guide us forward. Time is of the essence. Let's get moving. Now this is rare privilege. What business could the savior of Ishgard have with a humble knight? You want to know about Leophyne? Well, many temple knights come from common stock, but she was different. Despite what she became, Leophyne was born of a noble blood. Even so, she often made mock of Ishgard's customs and the responsibilities that bound the conduct of noble families. Doubtless she yearned for freedom all her life, or her idea of it anyways. Though her deeds caused her to be expelled from the Temple Knights and summarily stripped of her title, she may have actually desired that outcome. She hated so much here, all she had to do was leave. There she did leave for a time at least. Now she's in league with a group that aims to plunge the world into chaos. If a selfish heart like Leophyne was sought out to aid in this plot, I shudder to imagine how wicked their leader must be. I got stuck. Do you require aid? I must keep watch, so forgive me if I don't engage in idle chit-chat. Leophyne, for her I can spare a moment. I don't suppose you know why she was expelled from the Temple Knights, do you? While few were her equal in swordplay, and fewer still handled their mounts with such grace. She often spent her nights carousing in the gambling halls. It was after she's just such a night that she fell asleep while on duty. Some may call it a cruel twist of fate, but dragons attacked her charges as she slept, and they were left defenseless. In her negligence, she was deemed to have aided our ancestral foes, and thus was stripped of her knighthood and noble title both. Knights falling asleep on duty, a story that's become all too familiar. Given what happened, I have no doubt she came to fear sleep, yet now she has conquered that weakness, and she yields it as a weapon against us. She may even believe herself to be beyond the reach of mortal danger, and she's only deluding herself, and in time she'll be made to answer for her deeds. I've heard that the people of Ishgard revere a warrior god, but here is a statue of a flesh and blood knight. I've never seen such a thing. I will make no figures or depictions of our departed, fearing that such objects would keep them from finding their way to the next world. The only idol we keep is the cradle of the sleepless. Thanks to its blessing, a white eye has always watched over us. So our reverence is devoted solely to the narwhal. It's enough that it guides our people safely to the next sunrise. All is quiet, even so, I must remain vigilant. Leophyne, a name spoken of in hushed whispers now, but many have forgotten her strategic genius. She had a singular talent for achieving victory in battle by whatever means necessary. Genius, maybe we're just too dense to see how her actions would cause Ishgard to collapse. Given that our group seems relatively few in number, an assault on Ishgard is unlikely. Rather, I think her aim is to chip away at the people's trust in Ishgard's foundation, and by the absence of a few vital bricks bring the whole nation tumbling down. Thought gives me worry. Even now, representatives from Ishgard are preparing to visit Oxzundu in the Sea of Clouds. If anything were to go wrong, it would be a grievous blow to Ishgard's reputation. As we saw at Falcon's Nest, certain elements that oppose our nation see friendly gestures as a chance to spark conflict. Given recent developments, Sir Handalup has been debating whether the visit is a wise choice. Though I have a general understanding of what drives our adversary, stories that paint a picture of a rotten, conniving soul. You're right. Whatever her ultimate goal may be, it's clear she has an almost blinding focus on shaming the Temple Knights. And this, what did he call it? A delegation? May provide an irresistible opportunity. Finally, we have knowledge to use against our enemy. If we all work together, we might be able to trap her. We haven't much time. Let's return to the congregation and tell this Handalup what we know. You are ever welcome to the congregation. I am well apprised of Leophyne's wicked deeds. Your efforts to flush her out have been much appreciated. And this must be Master Tentoawa, who crossed the ocean for Tyrol. I hope you have recovered from your ordeal. I'm better than ever. Apologies for taking up one of your beds for so long. Please, no apologies are necessary. On the contrary, the Temple Knights yet owe you a debt for all you have done. Which brings us to the purpose of this visit. You had something to discuss with me? I see. You and I had the same doubts. The delegation to Oxzundu would be an obvious target for Leophyne. Recently debating the wisdom of moving forward with her plans. So you know, all of Ishgard falls under the protection of the Temple Knights. As such, 'tis only meet that we maintain and strengthen friendly relations with our neighbors. The delegation in question is tasked with deepening mutual understanding of each of our unique cultures. Somu Vanu, chief of the Zundu, was most eager to host. As long as the specter of Leophyne hangs over our order, I fear visits abroad are unwise. Should any Vanu come to harm, our relations could be damaged irreparably. As we have no way of knowing if Leophyne has caught wind of our plans, I am of the mind that postponing the delegation may be of the most prudent course of action, for the safety of all. That's right. Dear and I won't let anyone come to harm. As long as you want the Vanu in advance, they shouldn't hold the actions of a rogue against you. If they're truly your allies, they'll see the wisdom in your judgment. Please send the delegation as planned. It'll be our best chance to capture Leophyne. Yes, your words have merit. Thank you for the sage counsel. You are right. The Zundu would not stand idly by while we suffer at Leophyne's hand. In fact, the fellowship between our two peoples was forged when a god assailed their home and was brought low by a great hero. If we tell the Zundu that she is keeping watch over the proceedings, then I am certain all doubts shall be quelled. Then you'll proceed? I'd say that's what he's planning on doing. Indeed, the time has come for we Temple Knights to reclaim our honor and go on the counteroffensive. I shall bring the suggestion of a joint operation against Leophyne to the Lord Commander as soon as possible. Thank you. Together we'll put a stop to her scheme. First, must discuss matters with the others involved before we present a plan to the Lord Commander. Although time is of the essence, I ask that you wait until our course is settled. I realize now that I agreed to defend the people I know next to nothing about. Tell me these Zundu will soon be visiting. Really? Two groups of such people so far apart? The world really is full of surprises. Even a single city is enough for a lifetime. Every day I hear something that gives me food for thought. Like the story of the Dragon Song War, for instance. Generations of animosity between dragon and man that somehow ended in a rekindled fellowship. Imagine a whole world like that. A world where there'd be no need for protectors. Wide-Eye watches not only the monsters in the wilderness, but our neighbors as well. We've barely even considered sending delegations outside our village's gates. The cold snap only made things worse. With everyone struggling just to survive, our every thought goes towards defending our scarce resources. But if we only look outward with weariness, there's no hope for the future to change. No hope to build trust. Only there is a way to bridge the distance between us, and greet tomorrow hand in hand. But maybe that's just a silly dream. Maybe, either way, it's a beautiful thought. Glad you think so. I'll hold the future in mind as I get back to training. As for you, get some rest. If you fall asleep when I need you most, I'll wake you up with a knock to the head. That'd be a little violent. But that was the tank role quest Awakened, Not Stirred. Thank you for joining us here today for this little video here on YouTube. Hopefully we'll see you again either for another video on YouTube or maybe one of our many streams over on Twitch. Till then though, have a wonderful rest of your day.